Hi everyone, my name is Chris Hadamio with Mobile Record Shredders, and we are going live to answer some frequently asked questions, possibly some concerns about what we do, the process of kind of shredding your documents, where it goes, and why you should consider using our services rather than shredding at home or maybe just discarding your stuff in the trash, or even as a business, what it means to destroy your documents securely. So we will open it up for discussion, and if you have questions, please feel free to send them through. Otherwise, I have some here that have been asked already, just some kind of basic everyday questions about recycling, if that's a good enough process. As one person asked, isn't my recycling program good enough? Recycling paper is good for many reasons, but in terms of securely destroying your paperwork and your personal information, I would highly recommend hiring a service, bringing it to our warehouse or one of our drop-off locations to be destroyed, so you know that a NAID certified company has destroyed it, and it can't and won't be put back together by what we call dumpster divers, thieves that go out looking for your information in the trash can, and to be sold on a black market for identity theft. So know that our company actually, after it's shredded and destroyed, we recycle 100% of the paper products that we that come to our warehouse, already shredded or shredded at the facility. So recycling is good if it doesn't contain any of your personal information. Anything like a street address, your name, of course phone numbers, absolutely no security, social security numbers, things like that. But name and address are usually enough to go off of in certain cases for identity theft. So just know that's probably not going to be good enough for securely shredding or destroying your information. Let's see. Another question, we'll go over to, let's see. This one's a good one, comes up quite often, especially in the business world. Why shouldn't I buy my own shredder? There are many choices out there, and a lot of time, well, they can't sell the shredder without it being compliant, which is, cross-cutting shredding. And, if you're shredding a sheet a day or a few sheets a day, that might make sense. But if you have more than that, then you're running into a few different kind of issues for the business and for yourself. One, it could eventually overheat. Also, they cost money to replace, and your hourly pay to actually shred it yourself, the mess it creates. It's a pretty long list, but mainly a lot of businesses, a lot of people don't realize that the time spent, the hourly wages involved at the end of the month is 2, 3, maybe even 4 times what our service would cost a business. So that's why it's a good idea. If you're curious about that, I've put a calculator on our website. It's a widget on our website that's labeled in-house shredding calculator, and you put in the information and it actually spits out a financial value for you, so and are aware of what you're putting in as an employee or employees for shredding yourselves. Excuse me. So that's kind of answers that why shouldn't I buy my own shredder question. Another good question is, do I need to sort the different types of paper? No. The only thing we really kind of keep away from is magazines, plastic, really of any kind, but if there's a lot of the sheet protectors, that actually is known to start fires, because our industrial shredders are in the trucks are actually pretty big, and they create a lot of friction, so certain material cannot be put in there. But paper material of all different kind of colors, even file folders, hanging folders are acceptable, paper clips and staples as well. So the only type of paper we stay away from, really, if it's all related to office material, that's fine. But really newspaper, magazines, different type of paper. So there's that one. And I answered another one about removing paper clips and staples. That's those are small enough that get filtered out in the cleaning process, which brings me to another question of the process. So really, our process is we go to a business, or if the paper's dropped with us, we shred everything, put it into a baler, and then at the end of the week or whenever we have enough bales, we call a paper broker. They come pick up the bales, head out. They head out to the broker or a mill, whoever gets it after that, for cleaning, processing. Then that's when it gets recycled, sent back as Kleenex, paper plates, things like that. So again, we are part of that effort, which saves a lot of trees, a lot of water. The financial value on that is just a huge number that we can get into at some other point. So those are a few questions that we have right now. I wanted to see if there are any questions about our process. Let's see, none so far. So being NAID certified is another kind of question, maybe even a concern some businesses have about our company. We've been open about 14 years, NAID certified 12 of those years, and what that means to you is that we actually have a NAID auditor come on a scheduled time, and sometimes it's not even scheduled. They're kind of surprise visits. They'll show up with an 8-page audit, which they look at both of our services. We have off-site service, which is we go out and pick up the material and bring it back here, or we have an on-site service where we have our on-site shredding truck show up and shred everything there in front of you. Those, in NAID's eyes, are two separate services. So they put us through the audit on our on-site. They look at the whole process from start to finish there. Our plant base, or our warehouse shredding for off-site, they come in and look at that. Just to make sure everything's still secure, which is the cameras are working, that all the video feed is stored for the appropriate amount of time, that any cages that we have for security, any fencing that we have is up to their regulations, which is up to the ceiling with barbed wire, and then it's locked at all time. The front door is locked. So there are many steps that we have to go through being NAID certified to protect your information and your documents along the way. So with that said, being NAID certified automatically puts us in a HIPAA compliance situation. So know that if you're a medical facility, a clinic of any kind, or a doctor that just needs stuff shredded out of their home, if you're retired and need stuff destroyed, that we are HIPAA compliant as well as NAID certified. So let's see here. So another concern, another great question that I've had to work with in the past is, why should upper management or my company consider it? Well, again, there are many reasons on the cost part of it, where it's, an hourly kind of situation if you're doing it yourself. But the other part is the kind of the loss. If an employee doesn't feel like shredding a stack of papers at the end of the day, which is actually quite often, they may feel it's okay to throw stuff away. If that goes out and gets out in the wrong hands, and the business itself, the business owner is on the hook for that now, because they didn't take the appropriate steps to make sure the company was secure with other people's information. So we've seen articles from across the US about doctors doing that. They just dump stuff, don't want to pay whatever it is to shred it. They'll throw it in the trash, and it comes back, somebody finds it, or there's identity theft cases that come out of that, and they are fined thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, which, from what I understand, your general business insurance won't cover. So that's a great way to protect your business as well. Just whatever the small amount is that we charge on a monthly, or gosh, even every other month, very well worth it to protect your business and even you on a more personal level. So that is one huge reason why upper management businesses should consider going toward a shredding service rather than paying or entrusting that to employees to do at the end of the day or during the day when they're so stacked with other work. That might not be ideal. So if you have questions, please jump on our website. You can even send an internet request. You can call us directly. I can help manage that for you, answer any questions that you might have for getting that set up for your business. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, let's see. So we've got one here. So it says, will you ever touch our confidential documents? Me personally, no. Great question. The kind of the transfer process is if it's brought in, so we'll start with if you bring it into one of our locations. We have locked, secure bins. You bring a box, dump it in there. If it's like a box you don't want to do at home, great, that's what they're for. They're locked until we get them. We pick up the bins, put them in our trucks. Same with if we were to go out to your location. If it's at your home, if you're in an area that we service, residential locations, or if it's at your business, you are really the last person to see those documents. We give you locked containers. You'll put it in the slot. Our drivers go in there, get the bag out of the smaller container, dump them into a bin, or they just roll your bin out and exchange it for another one. They'll roll it out, shred it out front, or load it into our secure box truck, and then they lock up the back of the truck. They'll bring it back to our warehouse for shredding here, or if it's on site, again, they'll shred it on site right there in your parking lot, which you are more than welcome to witness. We have cameras inside of the shredding, right over the shredding unit and inside of the box, so you can see that it's shredded and it's being pushed in with everyone else's shred. So no, once it's in the container, we transfer it either into our bin so then it can be lifted up into the truck. Otherwise, no, nobody sorts through any paperwork. In fact, that's against NAIA certification, against our own company policies, actually against the law. So we don't do that. So great question. Thank you for that. Let's see if we have any more. Moving right along. Thank you. This one says, are you a member of the Better Business Bureau with an A+ rating? Yes, we are, actually. We do a lot with them. In fact, let's see, in April, or is that, I think in May, we're going to have our annual, what do they call, letter rip shredding. So we partner with the Better Business Bureau in Springs and El Paso County, since we service the Springs on a weekly basis, and do some shredding there, which helps. They actually, they'll get all the donations for their scholarships in that area, and also in Pueblo. We have our letter rip shred event in August here in Pueblo with the BBB, and again, it's a fundraiser for them for their scholarships for the Pueblo County area. So yes, great question. We have a very high rating with them, great relationship with the BBB, and have for many years. So let's see, I think we have another question coming in. So if you have questions about our shred event, please jump on our website. I believe it's everything's on there as well. So or you can call our office directly and just ask for a date and time, and we can get that for you. Excuse me, let me see if there are any other questions here. I think we're getting a question here, so just give me one moment. Okay, thank you. So this one says, how secure is your warehouse where we drop off paper? I touched on it a little bit, kind of along the way. It's very secure. You'll find that when you come up to our warehouse, our front door is locked. You have to be, we have to let you in, so you'll kind of like ring our doorbell. We'll let you in. You'll be greeted by staff, an office staff for payment, and also a warehouse staff to help take your boxes out of your car if you need help, bring them inside. They'll be put into locked bins, and you'll see for yourself, it has a padlock on it. So number one thing is it's not open to the public. We'll have to let you in, so the door's locked. Secondly, the containers that your documents are dumped into is going to be locked. And then thirdly, once it's shredded, then it goes into the back of our warehouse where it's shredded securely with our plant-based shredder. So yes, very secure. And you'll see if you bring our stuff in, or if you ever want to take a tour, come on by. We can kind of let you know. Or actually, I'm considering actually doing a virtual tour of our warehouse so everyone out there can see it, and you don't have to actually come down here just to take a look at it. And I'll get that up, let's see, Friday, next week. Next week we'll get a virtual tour up for everyone to look at. And I'm sure you'll be impressed with the security measures that we've taken to be NAID certified and to follow their regulations. Let's see if we have any more questions. All right, thank you. So, do you shred hard drives? Awesome question. We haven't up until recently, so we are in the process of getting hard drive shredder, because they're different than the shredders that we have on our trucks. Those are built primarily for office paper material. Hard drive, being the plastic and metals in them, they need to be handled differently. And also with the software that goes along with it, that we're going to be tracking for you as our clients. If that's something that you request or need, we'll be able to log that serial number and all that stuff and send it, and so you know that it's destroyed. So stay tuned for that. I know that's coming pretty soon, and we'll put that on our website and announce that, because I know that's something that's long overdue for our company, and that's something that's coming soon. So our hours are 8:30 to 4, Monday through Friday. So if you like to just bring your boxes in, or if you want to call us, and if we don't answer, please leave us a voicemail. You get a live person every time you call. Sometimes that we get 2-3 calls at once. Leave a message, we will get back to you, or jump on our website. There's a portion of our screen that will let you fill out an internet request form for if you wanted to set up a routine service or even just a purge. I'll get back in touch with you, or one of the staff will, and we'll get that scheduled for you. Let's see. Another one is, can I do a shred event for my business? Shred events are typically reserved for kind of a perk for our routine clients. We were just finding that we were kind of scattered all over the place with shred events during the week, on the weekends, and it's something that we've had to kind of really take a look at, and we've kind of brought that to our routine clients as kind of, here's a benefit, here's kind of a perk for you. And that's kind of like an added value service that we offer for routine clients. So if you need routine service and you also want to do a shred event, please let us know. We'd love to get you set up on both of those. Let's see, I think we have another question coming up. Let's see. Okay. So another question is, can't I just shred or burn my own documents? Absolutely, you can. And again, it's just going to come down to what you're shredding, how you're shredding it. Make sure it's cross-cut. And again, if it's only just a little bit and you want to invest that time, more power to you. Burning, I have a fireplace at home. I put in a little paper and it's a mess. So if you can handle that kind of mess, burning it, and if you have it in an area where it won't catch the prairie on fire, do it. That's fine. As long as it's destroyed, can be put back, or no one can grab it out of wherever the pile and reconstruct it. Yeah, just make sure it's destroyed, and that you're not going to be putting wildlife or anybody else at risk. If you have a fireplace, great. I do, and I've put some junk mail in there as kindling. But yeah, you can shred your own stuff. Again, make sure it's just cross-cut if you're going to do it at home. If you don't want to deal with it, if it's taking too much time, or you're finding you're burning out your shredders because you're putting too much paper in, or if it's just way too much time, you can bring it by. Or if it's a business that you're finding is way too messy, it's way too long of a process, please give us a call, and we'll definitely get you set up with that. I think we're getting another question, so just give me 1 moment. Let's see. So it says, do I need to take staples out before I bring them? No. I touched on it before. Staples, paper clips are fine, even if there's a binder clip in there that's kind of left. or a few of those, that's fine too. We will actually take those out, and again, when they go out to the paper mill, the paper broker, they actually clean all that stuff out. So we will save you some time and not require that you take out the paper clips or staples. So let's see. Let me just see if I've skipped over any of these other questions. Yeah, there's one about the personnel destroying it, and I touched on that, the time involved. So the 3-ring notebooks is another is one thing that we shy away from, and we ask that you remove the paper from, is because that's considered the hard metal inside on those rings, and the actual material that it's made out of is pretty thick. So if there are a lot of those in there, one, it's time consuming for our drivers to try and take those out. Also, it can jam up our blades pretty good and really kind of prolongs the time that they're there. So we ask that 3-ring binders be emptied into a box or bag or whatever it is, or into the container. And you could even reuse the binders. So that is one that I kind of overlooked, but like I said, everything else is acceptable. Paper clip, staples, those things. Let's see here. Okay, get another question. It says, are there hidden charges for on-site shredding? So, no hidden charges. What we quote you is really what you're going to be charged. We quote you the fee plus a 5% fuel surcharge. That's it, on your total. So it's not going to be on the entire day. It's going to be just your project, your shred project, that we're going to charge the 5% for fuel. And really that's it. And that's for routine. We don't have hourly, we don't have by the minute, we don't have a stop fee. I know some places have anywhere from $75 to $200 stop fee on top of their purging. We don't have any of that. It's just a flat 5% for fuel. So I think we have time for one more, two more possibly. Okay. So let's see here. All right, we'll take this last one here. It says, how do I know my documents have been shredded? Well, we give you we can get you a certificate of destruction. That's really our way of showing you if you do it off-site. On-site, we will shred everything there in front of your business in the parking lot, or even in front of you if you prefer to watch it. Off-site is a little different because we have to travel back to our warehouse in our secure box truck, and then we unload it. Per NAID guidelines, we have 3 business days to destroy that, and which we're always on top of. If it goes beyond that, we have to notify you, our client, that say for instance our baler went down, or our shredding, if our shredder went down for a day and it took a day to get parts, then we have to notify you and say, hey, it's going to take us another day or 2 to get to your documents because of X, Y, and Z reasons. So the certificate of destruction again is handed out to so you know that it's going to be destroyed. But along the way, those are our guidelines, and usually it's much sooner than that. So hopefully I've answered all your questions and concerns. Tune in next month. We're going to do this again next month for some Q&A. And again, call us if you have questions. Jump on our website, send us an internet request, and we will get in touch with you as soon as we can. Thank you very much.